Happy Friday, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us tonight on UpNorthLive Unscripted. We are ending the work and school week with a lot of clouds, some cooler temperatures, and a little bit of rain. Temperatures aren't cool enough for it to actually be snow, which at this time of the year, I think that's kind of a bummer. I think most of us would agree with that. If it's going to be cold and wet, might as well have some snow instead of rain.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, let's go to a week from now.
Okay.
Put yourself in the time machine and let's push the button.
About to be Thanksgiving.
Yep. Past Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Probably some snow.
Cool.
Maybe quite a bit.
Oh.
We'll see. We'll see. But that's about a week away. There are some signs, Maya. Maybe, I'm going to talk about this more in our weather segment, but perhaps some of the coldest air, and of course that'll kick up maybe some lake effect snow. But in the meantime, cloudy and a few showers. We'll talk more about that. Look at the weekend and look at all the way to Thanksgiving too a little later.
All right, thank you, Joe. And we have a few different holiday stories to share with you tonight. Of course, Thanksgiving is less than a week away, so let's start with that story. So many families across our state will be enjoying some fresh local turkeys on Thanksgiving for dinner. And our meteorologist, Trevor Robideau, he stopped by a local turkey farm to learn what it takes to get all the turkeys ready before they reach your plate.
For a lot of families, the preparation for Thanksgiving can be stressful. With travel, planning, and cooking the food, it's a hassle. This is just as true for the ones who help prepare your turkeys.
Getting everybody lined up to, hopefully the turkeys are ready. They're all prepped, and they have been in the past, and there's nothing wrong with them. And then you do your inspections, and then you get your help. And it's tough today to get people to want to work.
Beal has been in the turkey business for about 45 years, and in that time, he and his wife have perfected their craft. And they'll tell you, the process of preparing for Thanksgiving starts a lot sooner than you'd think.
Well, we actually start right after Thanksgiving, looking at our turkeys and their weights and everything, and then we order new turkeys from the hatchery, and we want to place those orders early.
Throughout the spring and summer, the Beals spend their time prepping the barns and the newborns that come in.
You want to take good care. You bed them daily, you wash the drinkers daily, you make sure they have the proper amount of feed, you make sure the proper amount of protein is in there, with the feed that you order. You spend probably 8 hours a day with the turkeys, every day until Thanksgiving time. Just keeping an eye on them.
Just like most farmers, it's a year-long process, but no time is more busy than the holidays.
It really is a stress week for us this week, and trying to get 3,000 turkeys expedited and make 3,000 people happy is an impossibility, but we really try hard to do that. The most gratifying thing is sitting down at Thanksgiving dinner, eating our turkey. So all the work is done.
In Antrim County, Trevor Robideau, UpNorthLive News.
And Trevor is joining us live now for more on his turkey story. Hey, Trevor.
Hello.
Hello. Can you walk us through what your experience was like going to this turkey farm?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. It's kind of an interesting story. So I had gotten the call that it was okay to go at like 7 o'clock in the morning, which is pretty funny. And I would say the experience was rather surreal. You don't realize really what it takes to run a turkey farm until you see it for yourself. And also just being someone that's not from a more agricultural and rural area. For those who don't know, I'm from Texas, more specifically the North Dallas area, which is a very suburban area, and it smells and looks like a suburban area. And so I will admit that I'm not used to the smell of a turkey farm.
Sure.
And as such, I will admit to you that I cannot explain it.
That was going to be my next question.
Go there for yourself.
Okay, so it's pretty remarkable. They have about 3,000 turkeys at that farm?
Yeah, well, I mean, at any given time, they probably have more than that, but that's about how much they work with during the season. I mean, and you have to consider that this is a year-long, as you probably saw in the package, it's a year-long process. They start pretty much immediately after Thanksgiving, which had shocked me initially to learn that it's like, oh, wow, like, there's no hitting the brakes, right? Like you get to eat your turkey, you get to have your fun, and then you immediately it's like, okay, now it's back to work. We gotta start ordering the new turkeys. We gotta figure out what weights we need. And over the course of the season, you have to consider that just like any farm, there may be some turnover. You may lose a turkey here or there. But yes, they have to, on average, every season expedite, which is the word that James Beal would use. They have to expedite or turn over about 3,000 turkeys or more, and those vary in weight, right? Like you could have some families that want a 25-pound turkey, which was actually really popular during the COVID years when nobody was going anywhere, and now people really prefer the smaller sizes for more local events. And stuff like that. But yeah, like it's pretty remarkable what they have to do. It's a small business. If you actually been to the Beal farm, it's not a very large farm, I will say. The property's pretty small. The range itself is large, but yeah, they have to deal with a lot over the course of 1 year, and it's rather remarkable.
So if people do purchase a turkey from the Beal farm, do they go directly to the farm, or do staff at Beal's farm, do they give their turkeys to like retailers? How does that work?
Well, it's a little bit of both, right? I mean, because they're one of the main turkey suppliers, you figure if you want to get something locally, then yeah, of course you can go to the farm. Like they have people that visit the farm all the time, but they also do local outsourcing, right? And I know this because like in just the time that I was there, I was only there for about an hour and a half, mind you. And in the time that I was there, I actually saw a Tom's truck pull up to the farm, and they loaded in boxes of different turkey sizes, right? So you figure they do pre-ordering, and they've got turkey sources to all sorts of local areas like stores and markets and stuff that want to sell turkeys, of course, for this time of year. And then you've got the people that actually go there and buy the turkeys themselves. So it's a little bit of both, right? But I will say that most of the time people will pre-order. But that's what a lot of the really big stores would do, is they'll pre-order and they'll get their orders in way before the time comes close to the season.
Sure.
If you're looking to get a turkey like right now, you're probably going to be pretty out of luck because it's very close to time. But yeah, I would say it's definitely a little bit of both.
Interesting. And I really loved your framing for your interview with Mr. Beal, and you can see all of the turkeys in the background. So are those turkeys that will then be, I don't know what the right word is, used next year on Thanksgiving, or are those turkeys for this year?
I'll be honest with you, I don't actually know. I didn't ask him that. I would assume those are turkeys that are being used this year just because they're on hand.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I don't actually know. But it was fascinating to go and see them all. Yeah, it's like, I don't think the video really does it justice, just how many of them there are. You kind of walk into the turkey barn and you're like, whoa, there's a lot of turkeys.
There's a lot of
here.
turkeys.
There's a lot of them, and it was a fun time going to film them. But yeah, sorry, unfortunately I don't know the answer to that.
That's okay. I was just curious when I was watching your video. I'm like, those turkeys, I don't know if they're really ready for next week the way the other turkeys are.
It doesn't seem like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Anything else you want to mention about this story, Trevor?
I guess just as a reminder, what I will say to people who, again, if you're looking to get a turkey this close to time, there's probably not a whole lot of options available. And so James Beal, who had told me that like the best way to ensure that you get what you want is to make sure that you pre-order, which you can do that by just calling them, right? You can pre-order and get what you want ahead of time. And then the last thing that I would say is just kind of a shout out to them. I think they're a great family. What they do is really great. And, it's just a reminder to people that, they work very hard at what they do. It's a year-long process. There's an incredible amount of work that goes in to getting this stuff ready. And, one thing that James Beal had mentioned to me that I thought really kind of stuck out is that, whenever you're working in a business like this, you're really working all year, especially during the time when they're hatchlings up until, they get time where you can actually use them in a meal. There's that process. And then there's the time where you're really boots on ground, kind of booking it from August until the holidays. And one thing that he had told me is that it's a marathon and not a sprint, right? Like, it's not like, oh, it's holiday season and it's time to go. You're working around the clock all the time. And especially this time of year, James Beal is working sometimes 16 plus hours a day.
Whew.
And he had told me when I got there, the day that I got there, which was Thursday morning, he said that he was up at 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was, and for those who remember that night, it was terrible. It was snowing, and it was windy, and it was cold, and it's just I want to remind people that these people work very, very hard. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, and I for one really appreciate what they do.
Yeah, well, Trevor, thanks so much for sharing this story with all of us. Now we have a better idea of what it really takes to get all these turkeys ready for Thanksgiving. And thanks for joining us on Unscripted. Enjoy your weekend. And we do have another holiday story. So from Thanksgiving to Christmas, Santa Claus is coming to town. He will be in downtown Traverse City tomorrow night. And Mark Gillette talked with some local firefighters who, of course, all year round, they serve the community. But tomorrow, they're going to serve the community in a little different way by actually delivering Santa Claus. So here's Mark with that full story.
We've got hazmat vehicles, we've got ladder trucks, we've got engines, rescues, multi-purpose utility vehicles, and boats.
The Traverse City Fire Department encounters a lot of different assignments, so they have a lot of different vehicles.
There's a reason for everything that we have and everything that we do.
But the reason for the one in the back there kind of stands out.
It's not like any kind of modern vehicle that we have around today.
Because this is the 1936 American LaFrance. The department got new back then. It served its time battling blazes, but its service to the community is hopefully far from over, thanks to the local 646 Firefighters Union.
It's operated by us, it's maintained by us, and we utilize it for specific functions throughout the year.
And this weekend, as in years past, is one of those specific functions.
For more than 30 years, the Traverse City firefighters have had the important responsibility of delivering Santa Claus to the tree lighting ceremony.
And that's where this truck in their fleet truly shines.
We create a platform and a chair for Santa to securely be placed into. We put the sign, "Here Comes Santa." We decorate the truck with all the different lights to make it fit into the format of the light parade.
It's an important job for the crew here.
It's our opportunity to shine and deliver the important Northern Michigan man himself, Santa Claus.
Santa Claus and fire trucks, a crowd-pleasing combination for sure.
So when there's 10,000 people in town this Saturday to see the tree lighting and see Santa Claus, they're going to see him on our truck. It's kind of the best of both worlds. It's things that everybody likes. That we love fire trucks, no matter how old you are, and you definitely love Santa Claus.
The old truck pops up at events year-round, offering rides and an experience to remember. So that's why the local 646 spends its own money to keep it rolling.
We'd love to put new paint on it. It's slowly creeping up to its 100th birthday, and we will keep it on the road to that point and beyond. So it's going to take money and effort, and our partners in the community are who we're looking towards for those type of things.
Delivering Santa is just another way this department serves the community. And just as with everything else they do,
Fire department takes pride in getting the job done no matter what it is, and this is an important one.
And if you cannot make it downtown Traverse City tomorrow night to see Santa Claus and the tree lighting ceremony and the light parade, well, you can join meteorologist Heather Burka and anchor Brendan Kinney for the tree lighting and light parade online. So we'll stream it live on the UpNorthLive YouTube, Facebook, and X pages. Our stream will start at 5:30 p.m. And let's turn things over to our question of the day, which is related to the holiday season. Have you started shopping for gifts this holiday season? Right now, 60% say yes, 40% say no. You can scan the QR code on your screen right now to vote if you haven't yet. So it's pretty close between yes and no. I am definitely in the no category. I tend to procrastinate until like way last minute for holiday season, and then I'm really stressed. One year I went shopping and it was like a week before I was seeing my family for Christmas, and I just had no idea what to get everyone, because I always want to get people, especially like my parents, the perfect gift. They've done so much for me, so I just want to get them the perfect gift. I get so overwhelmed because I don't know what to get them and end up having like a mental breakdown in the aisle of Meijer. So hopefully this year I won't do that, but be sure to vote on our question of the day if you haven't yet. And we'll take a look at those results a little later as well. But let's take a quick commercial break. We'll come back in just a few minutes and we'll check in with Chief Meteorologist Joe Charlevoix. He'll have much more on the forecast for this weekend. Straight ahead.
I'm Jada Johnson from Big Boys TV, and the Fish and Game Report is sponsored by Johnson's Propane.
Welcome back, everyone. We were just talking about the tree lighting ceremony and light parade in downtown Traverse City happening tomorrow night. So, Joe, how is the weather looking for that, or for folks just all around northern Michigan maybe wanting to step outside tomorrow?
Yeah, kind of like what we had today. Realistically, cloudy skies expected, but it won't be bad.
Okay.
And it won't be, bitter cold either.
That's good.
So, I think for the tree lighting ceremony, that's from 5 to 7 in Traverse City tomorrow. What are they estimating? I think like 10,000 people.
That's what they say, 10,000 people.
Something like that, yeah. It'll be low and mid 40s and a few showers, cloudy skies there tomorrow. Windy today too. Take a look at our video here. This is at Clinch Park in Traverse. Look at that. Clinch Park in Traverse City. The wind is right out of the north, and that funnels all that wind right down Grand Traverse Bay, right into the Traverse City area. And yeah, it was a windy one. I live right down a lake as well, and it was just choppy out there today. Here's a look at the wind right now, and there it is. It's still breezy, and it'll remain that way through the night tonight. We have kind of a north or northwest wind, gusts 20, 25 miles per hour currently, and you can see some of the wind currently. That wind, because of the direction, it's just cold enough, we're getting a little bit of lake effect rain in a few spots here this evening. We'll kind of zoom in here. Yeah, let's zoom in right in here. Near Lake Huron, although I'll take the satellite picture a little easier to see here. There's where the rain is most prevalent right now. So it's kind of drab, if you're in the Central Lake area, looking out the window, rain coming down Banks Township, all the way down to Helena, Clearwater Township, into South Boardman. And then, yeah, over on the east side of the state too here, north of Alpena, right around Presqu'île, and then, yeah, not too far there from Rogers City and Bruningville there, a little bit of rain. Here's what we're expecting going forward for the weekend if you do have plans. Cloudy skies, and again, showers will continue at times tonight through tomorrow. There's our Saturday. Scattered showers, maybe a couple snowflakes mixing in the UP, especially tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, right there. Sunday doesn't look too bad. We're looking at a cloudy day. I think it stays dry, though, for the most part on Sunday, and then we'll run this out into Monday. Early next week, we do have the chance for a few rain showers, maybe a snowflake or two mixing in. Bigger story is going to be this. Watch next week. There's Thanksgiving. You see Traverse City, northern Michigan there? Bloop, right there. Yep. Big bubble of, something like that, Maya. Big bubble of cold air coming in. And I think what that's going to do, we have a little system Tuesday, is, pretty quiet for Wednesday and Thanksgiving Day. You see the clock up there. That's Thanksgiving afternoon. But then here comes the lake effect snow. And I think that'll be our first potentially, accumulating, maybe significant lake effect snow in spots, Saturday, Sunday, next weekend, just after Thanksgiving. So keep an eye on that. Here's our forecast, looking ahead. There it is. And again, no major storms coming in, but we are looking at temperatures gradually cooling down. Notice 30s. And that is going to bring in that chance for a little snow. Right now, Thanksgiving, Maya, looks like, low and mid 30s on Turkey Day.
Wow, that's pretty typical for a Turkey Day.
Yeah, it is actually perfect, yeah.
All right, thank you, Joe. We're going to take another quick break, but we'll check in with our sports director, Harrison Beebe, in just a few minutes. Stay with us. And let's bring in our sports director, Harrison Beebe, who is joining us live from the Up North Live Content Center. And Harrison, word on the street is there was a pretty exciting volleyball match today with an area high school team.
Word on the street. Wow,
The kids are talking about.
Tapping into the streets for your news and sports, huh? Yeah, I can confirm that word on the street. Traverse City St. Francis was in a good one this afternoon down at Battle Creek. Kellogg Arena taking on the team that beat them in the state finals a year ago, that being Kalamazoo Christian. Well, spoiler alert, the Glads got them back in the semifinals. It went 5 sets, but they won that 5th set in impressive fashion, 15-7. The final, St. Francis is moving on to the state championship match, which will be tomorrow. A place they played in a year ago, but now they beat the team that beat them last year. I know teams are different from year in and year out, but St. Francis back in the finals. Kalamazoo Christian is not. So St. Francis will now meet up with Monroe St. Mary Catholic. And I think we have a graphic in the back that we can punch up to show all the exciting games that'll be going on. I call it Championship Saturday here in November, because 2 of these games are for state titles, the other one for a spot in the state finals. We know Pickford and Deckerville and Boyne City and Lansing Catholic. We've talked about their football matchups the last few nights here on Unscripted, and now we can profile the Gladiators volleyball program, looking to win that state title that they couldn't last year, as they'll be beginning that quest at around 2:30 tomorrow afternoon.
It's always good to make the state championships, of course, but to beat the team that beat you last year to get there, that's just even sweeter.
And that's the same case with Pickford. Pickford beat the team that beat them a year ago in the semis. So that was kind of their little, their ghost they had to chase to get out of that round, and that was the case for them. And Boyne City, wishing the best for the Ramblers. They've been in 2 semifinals before and fell short in both of them, so hopefully 3rd time is a charm for them to make Ford Field for the first time in that program's history.
Well, good luck to all 3 of these area teams. And really quick, Harrison, we have about 30 seconds. Let's look at the menu for football this weekend.
Yeah, let's do it. You know, Michigan State plays tonight against Purdue, a rare Friday game, although MSU's had 3 Friday games. But let's go ahead and talk about the big one tomorrow in the entire nation for college football. Maya, your Indiana Hoosiers taking on Ohio State. What do you think is going to happen?
I have kind of low expectations just because I don't want to get my heart broken. I think we can compete with them and hopefully not get blown out. I'm just going to leave it at that.
I think a strong showing will go a long way towards impressing the committee for the playoff.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
All right, thanks, Harrison. Of course, Lions Colts on Sunday at 1 o'clock should be a good one as well. But that'll do it for sports. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Salon services are furnished by Epiphany Advanced Academy in East Acme.
Christmas is in 33 days. We'll be here before we know it. So we want to know if you have started shopping for gifts this holiday season yet. 60% say yes, 40% say no. We have a few comments on our Facebook page. Amy says only 2 gifts left. We'll start wrapping this weekend. Chris is nearly done. A few other people say, yep, they have already started. So good for you, Amy, for already getting things done early, and hopefully that'll make your holiday season a little less stressful as we get closer to Christmas. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Up North Live Unscripted tonight. We hope to see you back here at 11. Have a great weekend.